Ukraine tells about the war with Russia in the language of art. Works by Ukrainian artists are on display at the Venice Biennale. The public's attention is great. The exhibition Defending Freedom is held jointly with the participation of the President of Ukraine, the Victor Pinchuk Foundation, and the Ministry of Culture of Ukraine.
Ukraine is presented at the Venice Biennale in difficult times. When Russia denies that very existence of Ukrainian culture, it is especially important to talk about it on a global scale. The pavilions of the invading country at the exhibition are closed. In the Ukrainian pavilion, the work of Pavel Makov, Fountains of Exhaustion, High Water. This is a series of built-in copper funnels that function as a fountain. The idea, then the mechanism for the embodiment of an art object, was born by this artist in the 90s. It has been transformed for presentation at this year's biennial. Today, it is a symbol of exhaustion of the culture, economic and political levels. The fountain was chosen by the jury of the exhibition before the start of the full-scale war. But on February 24th, Pavlo forgot to think about Venice. After all, he was sitting in one of the bomb shelters in Kharkiv, which was shelled by Russian occupiers.
I didn't even think about the Biennale. I wasn't even going to go to Venice, and I wasn't even going to leave Kharkiv. But when, on the 8th day of the war, the centre of the city was almost destroyed, I realised that I had to take my mother away because she was old, to take my wife away.
Today, Italians approach any Ukrainian art composition at the biennial with special understanding and attention. For example, water was supplied to this installation, although for years it was technical difficulties for Pavel Makov to do it in any space.
This is the first time the fountain works with water, because before that it was hard to organise this process in any space, and here too. After all, nothing could be touched here, not to mention nailing it to the wall. However, we will make it a completely independent object.
Such support comes at a high cost to Ukraine, Pavlo says, but there is a chance that soon there will be more than one hall for Ukrainian works and artists in Venice, but a whole pavilion on several floors.
For this pavilion to be our centre, our platform, for us to already know that there's a place in Venice where we can come and some cultural events can take place here.
Dozens of ministers from around the world have already visited the Ukrainian pavilion in a few days. Among them is the Minister of Culture of Finland. He says that the Finns are in solidarity with Ukraine and considered it necessary to see our art objects in the biennial.
100% support for Ukraine in Finland, both state, local authorities and also civil society and citizens. There has been quite a lot of refugees from Ukraine, and also we have been helping as a state. We did a historical decision to send arms to another country, first time after Second World War, and it was really remarkable and historical decision for our government, and of course we are condemning and judging Russia's actions in every way, and we try to work for the peace, and we want to support the Ukraine's freedom and sovereignty.
The Venice Biennale is run until the end of November. Ukraine's support can be felt here, not only in the Ukrainian pavilion, but the only mention of the Russians is this garbage can where it says "Cancel Russia." From Venice, Natalia Lutsenko.